I've never created a video like this, but I know this will definitely help somebody. Prior to now, I was not conscious about what quarter life crisis meant. I've heard about midlife crisis, and that to me is a situation where a person reaches the middle of their life, supposedly, and they just start asking themselves a lot of existential questions, such as, is this what my life is all about? Like, is this it? And most times when they reach that stage, they obviously are in crisis, and sometimes they make some impulsive decisions, such as going to buy an expensive car, going for a super luxurious vacation, or just doing something that they would not normally have done. So I'm familiar with that. Last year, I went through a lot, and I'm going to share that in subsequent videos, not in this video. But after what I went through, I realized that months after, I started asking myself some questions like, is this what this life is all about? Like, is this it? And this is not something that lasted weeks, it lasted months. And that was not me. I started losing touch with myself. So this made me start researching about a lot of things. And it's my research that made me realize that I was going through quarter life crisis. So if you don't know what that means, just like those people in the middle of their life supposedly go through their midlife crisis, quarter life crisis would usually occur with people in their 20s or 30s. I'm in my 20s, so obviously that makes sense. And today I will share with you what went through my mind, because for me to be feeling that way, I'm not the only one that felt that way. I felt so lost, so out of touch, so out of control, so useless, actually. So I'll walk you through my thought process and how I was able to get past that stage. Okay, sincerely, right now, I don't think I have completely left that stage. However, I have made a lot more progress than before. So let's start. Society has not helped matters, because as you're born, it just feels like you are given responsibilities, and there are some yardsticks, there are some timelines you're supposed to achieve. So as a woman, for instance, I go to school and I'm supposed to do very well in school and also have good character, have good values. After my studies, I'm expected to be married. After marriage, I'm expected to have children, not just one. I'm expected to nurture those children to the point where they reach my stage, such that they go to school, they also make money. Oh, I forgot to add making money. Well, that's dicey, because society tells women to, make enough money, but not too much so that you will not intimidate a man, but at least make enough money so you will not be totally dependent on a man. And you get the point. Basically, whether you're a man or you're a woman, there are so many deadlines and timelines that we're expected to achieve. But let's leave that for a while and focus on me. I have personal goals. I'm a very ambitious person. And I think this quarter life crisis started with my own goals. So I was thinking about my life, that was supposed to be my trajectory: studies, marriage, childbirth, money, then what next? Die. Nah. And I think that's what just took me out, especially because even for my career, I have a lot of uncertainties currently ongoing. Because for me, it's not just like career, I'm also very creative. I have my fashion brand, Adazempire, and there are just a lot of things that made me realize that, wait, so what is this life truly all about? Is this just what it is meant to be? And it has not helped matters that there are a lot of motivational speakers, a lot of coaches that have different mindsets about what your 20s or 30s is supposed to look like. Because some people will tell you that in your 20s or 30s, you should grind, work hard, like get all the money, labor at that time, so that when you are older, you get to relax. But some other people tell you, no, even when you're in your 20s or your 30s, you only live once. So make the most of everything. Don't overwork yourself. You don't even know what tomorrow will bring. Not everyone will even live long enough to even see that tomorrow. And that just took me off the more. And I don't know what made me start thinking about all of these things, but it was just overwhelming. And I've talked to some other people and I realized that, wow, it's not just me. A lot of people feel lost. And sometimes when you are looking at someone else's life from afar, it looks like the life is perfect. It looks like they have it all together. For instance, one of my friend's sister reached out to me and she told me she loves my life. Like my life looks perfect. She even said, like, can I give her a guide on how she can be like me? And obviously that was very flattering. I appreciated that privilege to be seen in that way. However, I told her, no, my life is not perfect. And there are sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. Yes. I don't have all the answers. And even for my career, sometimes I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And I think people that are wired to doing 9 to 5 for life, they are more lucky because if your goal, for instance, is to have a 9 to 5, then possibly progress in that career ladder, and that's like your major goal, I think it's easier for you because your life is more streamlined. You know what you're doing with your life. But if you are anything like me that would want to do more creative things such that you would have a lot more time freedom, it can be overwhelming because you really don't know what the future will bring. For instance, I'm a YouTuber and there is no certainty with anything. There is no certainty that tomorrow my channel cannot just skyrocket and take a different turn. With my fashion brand, it's the same thing. Anything can just happen. Unlike my 9 to 5, that if I'm focused on 9 to 5, the worst that can happen is maybe me being laid off. And if that happens, if my focus is 9 to 5, I can still focus on getting another job, and that's what will happen. Now, obviously, because I'm not strictly in that 9 to 5 life, I may have a different mentality to someone that is in that life because someone else in that life will come and tell you that, it's actually not like that, but this is the way I perceive it. But something I've learned in this quarter life crisis phase is that sometimes a lack of direction is even an invitation for more opportunities because a lot of times we see a lack of direction as a negative thing, such that we want to always know where we are going, know what we are doing. And that's why when we're younger, we're always being asked, what do you want to do? And that's a question that I struggled to answer when I was younger because what do you want to do? As at then, I would say I want to be a lawyer, but that's not all. I want to be a fashion designer. I also want to be a writer. I also want to be a movie producer. And it's always like, no, 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 pick one. What do you want to do? And we are not all meant to just do one thing. There are some people that they just want to do one thing, but that's not how it works. And life is not meant to be black and white. There are really no rules to this thing called life because we've not lived this life before. We are all doing this for the first time. And if you're going through this phase of being lost, being overwhelmed, and just your mind is just going into overdrive like mine was, relax. And that's my first tip. I have 7 tips to tell you. Realize that you are a human being and not a human doing. A lot of times there is this rush to do. But first, relax. You are doing this life for the first time. There are really no blueprints because copying someone else's blueprint is not what will give you the answers to the peace that you deserve to feel. Relax. Now, the second tip is check in with yourself. If you are feeling lost, overwhelmed, depressed, or you know you are just experiencing a quarter life crisis or even a midlife crisis and you cannot place your fingers on what it is, it most likely is something. And this may be that you need to pivot. For me, I realized that in a particular area of my life, I actually needed to pivot. And it was that need that was making me feel so uncomfortable with where I am. Because if you're feeling that discomfort, do not take it for granted. It's there for a reason. So silencing the noise and checking in with yourself would help you realize what you really want to do. For some people, it could just be that you need to rest. For some other people, it could be that you need to change your career. You need to change your location. You need to just change something. And after doing that, you realize that, oh, wow, so that was it. And for you to check in with yourself, sometimes it could just be you meditating. A lot of times we complicate the process of meditation. We think it has to be and gloomy, one very gloomy thing, but that's not how it works. To meditate is just to reflect on your thoughts. And even if it's you spending 5 minutes, just 5 minutes daily, meditating, thinking about what you're thinking about, reflecting, you may find more answers than you being a scatterbrain. The third tip is watch your social media usage. For some of us, I would not say cut off social media completely, but you may need a break. Because the bad thing about social media is that we see everyone's life supposedly. So you are in your own misery, feeling bad, and you're seeing this person living the life. Then you are reminded about yourself, and because you already feel bad internally, you now feel worse watching someone else live their dream life. And I say dream life like this because you really don't know. People post what they want you to see, not what is really going on in their lives, and that is the fact. So I would not really say cut off social media completely because some of us cannot. So you could either consider taking a break or curate your social media to fit what you want to see. Social media algorithm works based on what your interests would be. For instance, if you're watching this video, it's likely that the algorithm would recommend similar videos such as this to you because by watching this video, you've shown them that you care about this kind of content. Watch the kind of content that you actually want to watch. For instance, if you check my TikTok algorithm, of course you cannot see that because it's only me that can see it. It is the most wholesome place ever. In fact, not just TikTok, even my YouTube, my Instagram, I intentionally follow and watch people that inspire me to be my best self. Not people that make me start lusting over what I'm not even meant to lust over. If you are going through all of this, you do not need that distraction. You need wholesome content. I'm a huge fan of taking breaks on social media. It really helps my mental health. So if you're going through any of these, I would highly recommend taking breaks or curating your social media to fit what you want to see. The fourth tip I would say is learn to stay in the present. We live in such a fast-paced world, and I feel it's like the microwave generation. That's who we are. We just want everything fast, 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 fast. And sometimes when you are in that fast-paced nature, you may find it more difficult to fall back into yourself and be in the present. If you are going through those feelings of being lost and all that, see, drop back to yourself. If you notice, all his advice still follows the common thread of you pouring back to yourself, cutting off the noise. Stay in the present. If you are feeling like this at this point, forget next year, forget 5 years' time. Focus on today. Take it a day at a time. You already feel overwhelmed, and by thinking about the future, it will not even make you feel better, it will make you feel even worse. But when you are intentional about taking it a day at a time, things would actually start looking better because once you're able to go through one day feeling better, you have more hope for the next day. The sixth tip is practice gratitude. Oh my god, let me show you something. I have this jar, it's my gratitude jar. I try to write down things I'm grateful for every day. Some days I forget, and that's okay. The next day, when I remember, I still put down some things. I realized that each day I put things I'm grateful for, I feel better. I just have more energy because sometimes when you are going through this midlife or quarter life crisis, it can just be because you are everywhere and you've not taken out time to even be grateful for your present moment, be grateful for the achievements that you have attained. And that's why sometimes journaling really helps you. It helps you take stock of what is going on internally and how you feel. And so far you are alive, you would always have something to be grateful for. So when I say be grateful or practice gratitude, I'm not saying write down one big thing that has happened because most likely if you're going through this phase, you may not even have experienced any big thing. But guess what? You are alive. That's a big thing. And a lot of times we we do not appreciate how beautiful life is, that you are alive, you are breathing. there is hope. And this seamlessly leads to the last point, which is focus on processes as against milestones. And I would explain that to you. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned how society would want us to have particular milestones to achieve. And the funny thing is that most times when we achieve those milestones, the feelings of happiness we think we would have, we do not have them. Is anybody a witness? Tell me in the comment section. We do not have them. One of the greatest achievements I have attained in my life is getting a 5.0 GP in one of my semesters in school. And I remember trying to attain that because prior to that, no one had that all A's in my school. And I just wanted to have all A's in that semester. When I finally saw the 5.0 GP, obviously I was happy. But do you know that feeling that I expected to get, I did not get it. People were the ones congratulating me. Like, I did not get that feeling. In the same way, when I relocated to the UK, the minute I relocated, that feeling of, oh my God, it has happened. I didn't get it. Like, I did not get that feeling. And that taught me that a lot of times we hinge our happiness on specific milestones. Okay, when I get married, I will be happy. When I have children, I will be happy. When I have that dream job, I will be happy. But that's not how it works. You're focusing on milestones. You're focusing on goals as a source of your happiness. No wonder you are not happy. But why not focus on enjoying the processes, staying in the present, enjoying the moment? What that means is, if you want to be a 5.0 GP, enjoy the process, enjoy reading, actually enjoy doing those things. If you're trying to relocate, enjoy the process of leaving your country, enjoy it. You can enjoy processes. You can be happy now. You can decide to stop postponing your happiness. I don't want to hear, I'll be happy when I leave Nigeria. I'll be happy when I have. Are you happy now? No. Then you have work to do. And that work is not hinged on a milestone. Because if you do not change that, you will just be the kind of person that you must attain something to be happy. You cannot just be. And that is not the life at all. Or for me, that's not the kind of life I want to live. And I'm very grateful for going through this phase because I'm able to understand myself more, understand my needs more, and it even helps me realize what is truly important to me. It helped me realize what I would like to be known for. I want to truly live. So these are the things that helped me navigate my feelings of being lost and having a quarter life crisis. So I want to know what you think about this video and what I've said. Obviously, I've never done a video like this, so let me know your thoughts if you enjoy videos such as this. If you do, then obviously I want you to click on the like button. Also, if you want to get to know me more on a personal basis, you can follow me on IG at Adaeze Osadebe. Or if you want a paid one-on-one call with me where we just get to sit down and talk, then you can book that by clicking on the link in the description box. And until I see you next time, stay blessed, remain happy, watch this playlist that contains similar content such as this. Bye!